It had peaked at about 38%, has come down to a little over 11% in May. And in fact, it actually beat the market consensus. The market consensus was around 14%. So it's not only the CPI, not only the core inflation, but also the food inflation which is coming down. And while this is very much in the domain of the central bank, we do expect that the policy rate will start moving down in line with inflation, because we have now enough cushion in terms of the positive real interest rate that we need to maintain. So the interest rate regime in Pakistan, which has been an issue for a while, we should start seeing some relief on that front during the course of this calendar year. Now, markets have reacted positively. We have seen foreign buying coming in to the stock exchange. Equally, we have seen fixed income institutional flows coming back into Pakistan, all showing signs of confidence, which is now developing in the economy of the country. Now, this macroeconomic stability, in turn, was ushered in, or has been ushered in, because it was under Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif in his previous administration that we went through the finishing line with respect to the 9-month standby arrangement in the IMF program. It's actually under his watch that we have successfully concluded that 9-month SBA facility, and that has indeed helped with the macroeconomic stability and the sentiment that we see in the country at the moment. Now, where do we go from here? Now, we are in the midst of discussing and negotiating a longer and a larger fund program. Now, the reason we are doing it is really for two reasons. One, to ensure the permanence in the macroeconomic stability that we have seen during this fiscal year, but equally importantly, if not more importantly, to execute the structural changes under the umbrella of the fund program. And the priorities around that, there's no surprise to anyone, is to ensure that we move our tax to GDP ratio towards a more sustainable level. So right now we are hovering between 9 to 10%, and as we can all agree, that's not a sustainable position. So the idea is to move it more in the 13 to 14% range as we go forward. The second one is to negotiate our complex energy equation in terms of power and gas, in terms of bringing more governance and better governance in these sectors, and equally moving them towards privatization and handing them over to the private sector. Which brings me to the third point around this structural change, which is SOE reforms and accelerating the privatization agenda. Today we have both the Minister of Petroleum and Minister of Privatization here as part of this group as well. So these are going to be very, very important reforms which are in execution as we speak. Now, as we move forward, our direction of travel is very, very clear. Under Prime Minister's leadership, the homegrown agenda, because that's what we are talking about. Everything that I've referred to, tax to GDP, energy equation, SOE reforms, is in the interest of the country that we move in the right direction. Now, as part of this homegrown agenda, markets, not the government, are going to anchor our economy as we go forward. The private sector is going to lead our country. As far as the government is concerned, we are there to provide policy framework and, even more importantly, policy continuity, because that has been an issue in Pakistan through the administrations. Now, we want to anchor this homegrown agenda around three key aspects, which are what I would call road to market. Because the question that is always asked, we are going into the 24th IMF program. Why do you think this is going to be the last program? And I think it's a fair question. And therefore, the healthy dosage of skepticism that this question comes through. Now, this road to market is going to be again anchored in three areas. The first one is going to be export-led growth. That's why we are here. I'm sure Prime Minister is going to not only touch upon that, but mention that in a very big way, because the special economic zones are going to be a very important ingredient, a very important pillar, a very important enabler in terms of export-led growth. And what better place to learn from the successful experiences than Shenzhen. The second one is foreign direct investment. It's going to be both in terms of G to G, and even more importantly, as we go forward, business to business. And that's why we are all here together. That's why we have requested all of you to be here today, so that you can actually have those interactions, to have those tangible discussions which can lead to joint ventures, which can lead to real-time discussions around how we success transfer the technology, how we success transfer the successful experiences here into Pakistan and get some of the industries moving and relocating into Pakistan as we go forward. And the last point that I want to mention in terms of the road to market is our access to international capital markets. Now, from my perspective, from our government's perspective, while we will go back to the US market, we will go back to the Euro market as our ratings improve, but we are very keen that we access the Chinese capital markets, because that's what we have not done previously. So we have a number of things that we are doing differently under Prime Minister's leadership. And during next fiscal year, we want to go in with Pakistan's inaugural Panda bond issue to access the Chinese capital markets, which is the second and the largest and deepest market in the world. There's no reason why we shouldn't have done that previously, but it's never too late. So we are very keen that we do that during the next fiscal year. We are in preparatory stages at our end. We are going to be in touch with the regulatory authorities here in China, because this is going to follow a structure which the government of Egypt followed last year, which is going to be a guarantee-based structure in terms of the inaugural Panda bond in this market. I'm just going to close by saying that, you know, also from Ministry of Finance perspective, all of you who are here, from the Chinese businessmen and businesswomen and Pakistani businessmen and businesswomen, that we are very committed to help, support, assist in terms of ensuring that all of you become successful in Pakistan. And I'm the first one to acknowledge that with respect to our Chinese partners, our Chinese investors, there have been some temporary hiccups in terms of delays in payments, in terms of repatriation. And I want to assure you, these were not structural in nature. I just mentioned to you how the structure of the economy, how the macroeconomic stability is sort of moving us in the right direction. And as we go forward, we are there to help, support, assist any way we can in terms of taking Pakistan Inc. forward. Thank you very much.
पाक चाइना बिजनेस कॉन्फ्रेंस जारी है और तकरीब के आगाज़ में दोनों ममालिक के कौमी तराने पेश किए गए, जिसके बाद पाकिस्तानी सफ़ीर खलील हाशमी ने इस्तकबाली रिमार्क्स दिए, जिसके बाद वाइस मेयर ऑफ शेंजन ने इस्तकबाली रिमार्क्स पेश किया और इससे कबल कुछ देर पहले वज़ीर ख़ज़ाना मोहम्मद औरंगज़ेब तकरीब से खिताब कर रहे थे.
Of Shenzhen Municipal Corporation, fellow ministers, excellencies, Chinese entrepreneurs and Pakistani entrepreneurs, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. My colleague has shared with you a rundown of what is our future program of this government under the leadership of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. I'll just start with a positive note that Pakistan has a good track record of economic performance. Just a few years back, we were the 24th global economy. We had 2% food inflation. We had 4%, less than 4% CPI. We were having more than 6% GDP growth. Eurobond was 14 times oversubscribed. So we have a rich history. Unfortunately, because of certain political instability, change of government, pandemic, COVID, etc., we had serious setbacks in our program. So Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif has a very clear roadmap, and that is export-led growth, coupled with industrialization, particularly, if possible, the import substitution driven industries. So the idea behind is that we remove our fiscal deficit. We have a huge potential in different areas. For example, IT. We have huge potential in agriculture. We have huge potential in mines and minerals. Pakistan is blessed with 10,000 billion estimates of mines and minerals in Pakistan. And the best one, copper, gold, you name it, and it's there. Gems are on top. So the gap between our the exports and the remittances and the imports is not too big. It's just a matter of $5 to $7 billion, and it's very, very well manageable. Some people talk of the public debt unsustainability, but absolutely wrong. Pakistan has passed through certain liquidity crises. Any business can have. You're all business people. But Pakistan is asset rich. Against 130 billion of total debt and liability external, Pakistan is blessed with, as I said, we can count and I can share with you detail, over 10 trillion US dollars. So we have a future, we have, under the leadership of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif. So our focus, this is, the conference of, to my best memory, in the last 30 years, first time of its kind. We used to have an investment conference. There would be a few speeches, and Prime Minister will give his keynote, and then the business is over. We are here to do the matchmaking. My colleagues, all from the relevant ministries, are here. And as Excellency, the Ambassador of Pakistan in China, Mr. Khalil Hashmi, indicated, that there would be few rounds of group meetings after Prime Minister leaves. So I would urge you that please look into the possibilities, the potentials Pakistan has, and keep in mind that the labor cost is very competitive right now in Pakistan. Now, in order to make the facilitation in real sense to the business people, a special investment facilitation council has been set up under the leadership of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, in which all the relevant ministers, federal ministers, the 4 chief ministers, and the relevant secretaries are there. So you are supposed to be assisted for setting up of your business under one umbrella and one roof. So let me assure you, we are all there to help you, to assist you, and this is the high time that you consider doing your B2B joint ventures. And again, it is the first time Prime Minister is leading this conference, which is basically B2B, business to business, and not the government to government. So, the outline given by my colleague, Finance Minister, is very clear. We are going for a very deep structural reforms. Actually, 2018, when we reached 24th economy, and the PricewaterhouseCoopers projected Pakistan to be the part of G20 within few years, unfortunately, as I said, we missed the train, but we are working fast track to reach back where we left in 2017, and not only to reach 24th economy, but also to join in few years the G20. So the structural reforms is the name of the game. The consolidation of what we have done so far will be there, and you will see that the government will be exiting from the business. Apart from setting up units in Pakistan, whether it's export-led or import substitution or even a normal business, you will also have the possibility to participate in a very transparent privatization of different state-owned enterprises which we are working on. There's about 84 state-owned enterprises which are under consideration for the purpose of privatization. My colleague, privatization minister, is here also. You can have a word with him. So I don't want to take too long because the real business would start later. Let me thank the Shenzhen Municipal Corporation for setting up and for their warm hospitality and welcome. Let me also acknowledge the great job which Ambassador Khalil Hashmi and his team has done to set up and arrange all this. I mean, it's first time, as I said, in my 30 years of memory. So let me assure you that we are all there, myself, my colleagues under the leadership of Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, to assist you, to help you, to set up business in Pakistan on a very, very fast track. Thank you very much, and I wish you a very good day.
Let's have a glimpse of Pakistan and the opportunities it offers.
奠定了坚实的基础，包括基础设施项目、能源安全等。现在，第二阶段将重点转向企业对企业 B2B 协作，这将为在巴基斯坦寻求投资机会和利润收益的中国投资者释放巨大的潜力。巴基斯坦拥有丰富的投资领域可供探索，从金属、太阳能技术到纱线、织物、钢铁，可能性是无限的。手机制造工厂热闹非凡，成熟的纺织、皮革和制药行业为更高效的生产而被重组。农业食品园区正在改变巴基斯坦的农业面貌，为食品
सिर्फ क्रीम नहीं, पाकिस्तान की नंबर 1 सिरम क्रीम। इसका